So now we are diving into the topic of loyalty. How do we involve our customers in the creation process of brands? And how can they be rewarded for their input? Isn't it a great idea to use the very same people consuming our brands for develop them? Moonblock is a startup based in Munich and knows how NFTs are transforming brand engagement. Welcome for this topic, Greul.
Hello, hello. Hi, I'm very happy and excited to be here. My name is Anne. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Moonblock. Moonblock is a Web3 market intelligence platform, and we help our customers, which are global brands, to find, analyze, and benchmark NFT projects. And today, I want to talk about loyalty and the way how NFTs are transforming engagement, brand engagement, customer engagement. So we heard already quite a bit about Web3-based NFT and loyalty programs and how brands leverage NFTs to really foster customer loyalty and engagement. And just an hour ago, the Lufthansa team was here on stage talking about their recently launched NFT loyalty program called Uplift. But there have been other brands before them. So, for example, Starbucks, but also Lacoste, Adidas, and Air Baltics. And these brands paved the way, and they provide great use cases for other brands to study, to learn from, and to really build on their earlier experiences. So today, I want to spend the next few minutes to offer some best practices from all these different brand projects to you, and maybe also give you a framework how you can think about NFT-based loyalty programs. But first, let's take a step back and think about what are the major goals of loyalty programs in general, so also outside of Web3. So it's rewarding customers for their loyalty, but also gathering and analyzing like valuable data and insights about customer behavior, needs, and wants. And Web3 loyalty programs, they use NFTs to achieve exactly those two goals. So we already heard, and probably you're also familiar with the advantages of NFTs and Web3 in general. But we also heard it earlier in the talk from Lufthansa that there are benefits like ownership, engagement, tradability that are all great elements, Web3 elements and characteristics of NFTs that brands can leverage to bring their NFT and loyalty programs to the next level. I want to also emphasize community building, because this is another aspect where suddenly brands can go from a one-to-many to a many-to-many communication and have really a higher level of engagement with their customers. Another aspect is customer insights. And you all know that brands have a lot of data about their customers from social media, from surveys, from cookies, and there's always a lot of changes, and all of these data points give you some information, but they also somewhat are limited in the way that they create a holistic idea and picture about your customers. So what you really lack is behavioral insights. So what do customers really act upon? You have descriptive insights, what they tell you they want, but this often differs from what they actually opt to buy and used to buy in their past. And so now with wallet analytics, so on-chain analytics, NFT-based analytics, you can add additional data points and kind of extend your picture of your customer and get a better idea of their needs and wants. And if you look into like community building as one example, we really see, and we also have that reported from brands who have launched loyalty programs with NFTs, that they see a higher engagement of these holders, of this community. And I brought one example. So we heard from Lufthansa, but also Air Baltics launched already a while ago their NFT-based loyalty program called Planies. So they sold NFTs to their customers, but also like to like the broad public. And here you see some screenshots from social media, from Twitter. For example, one holder was getting an upgrade on his recent flight, and he was so excited that he got an upgrade to business class just because he was an holder of this NFT. And they are starting to be very vocal about that. And so they also kind of create an active communication and are brand ambassadors, not just for the brand, but also, of course, for this loyalty program. And even more interesting, I think, is this part of data insights, and also like for all marketing activities, we know that we are always looking for high quality data. And so this transparent nature of the blockchain suddenly allows brands to really tap into valuable insights on brand customer behavior, customer insights, and have this basically by analyzing their wallet behavior and their customer wallets. And so here I brought a screenshot from our platform, from Moonblock. Here you see an example of the Porsche project. So Porsche, for example, gets a good insight now into who are my customers, what customer segments do they belong to. So probably everybody of you is familiar with Sinus milieus. Maybe they are a little bit outdated now, but the idea of kind of grouping customers into similar buckets and segments in order then to target them more specifically, in order to use this information to personalize offers, but also to just allocate your resources in a more effective way. These segments, we build them based off this insights that we had from the customer wallets. And so you see not just which customers you have, how they spread across different segments, but also which segment is most dominant. And then you can kind of compare it with your goals, with your performance that you were anticipating, and see where you need to maybe adjust your offering or your plan. Another example from Adidas, you see how loyal your customers are. So how active are they in your brand environment? What interests do they have? What purchasing power do they have? And also this insight is super valuable when it comes to which sub-segment do you want to particularly target, who is maybe most interesting for you to offer specific rewards, who do you want to offer, like in case of Porsche maybe, like in-person driving experience, because you see on their wallet they also have like the financial means to become actually like a Porsche customer. And all this data really goes also into then these customer segments. And on the right side you see an overview of other projects that these customers supported. So you see what interests they have, what other projects, brands, products they are interested in. And now the question is, okay, how, if you're excited about NFT-based loyalty programs, how do you get started, and how does success even look like? And to answer that, we looked in our platform and looked at all the loyalty programs that brands launched in the recent years and tried to derive patterns and insights. And so from that we saw that the majority of the most successful NFT-based loyalty programs, they share the following characteristics. So they have a very transparent communication, both internally and externally. So what does that mean? They not just internally clearly state the expectations that stakeholders, decision makers can have with this project, but also they state externally what customers can expect from this loyalty program, in order to avoid that you have like negative publicity, that you have speculation in the market. They have a strategic roadmap, and we will see in a moment how this can look like, but it's really bringing this NFT project, this Web3 project, close to also the core projects of your main business. They use elements of gamification, and last but not least, they really avoid using any kind of technical jargon. So compared to 2022, when it was very, very hip and common in the Web3 and NFT space to also be very technical, brands more and more really avoid talking about NFTs in order to lower the entry barrier and also be more appealing to mainstream customers. And I brought to you the example of Starbucks, their Odyssey program that was only launched for now in the beta version in the US. And we see here in the bottom like what it kind of plays into. So in terms of strategic roadmap, and I'm aware that you cannot read this probably, but it's the screen for signing up to their NFT loyalty program. And what they made every person who was interested make is to sign up with their existing loyalty program account. And if a customer didn't have that, they had you sign up first for their traditional loyalty program, and then you could participate in their NFT-based loyalty program. And that was very smart because suddenly, internally, they connected their CRM of their traditional customers with the newly acquired customers in the new Web3 space. And they had also not just the wallet ID, but they also have the email address to kind of connect these data points. Another example is the non-technical speech. So they didn't mention NFTs. So here they talk about digital stamps, and also Steffen from Lufthansa, he said that they are talking about digital trading cards. And guess what? I mean, in the background, it's all NFT based, but they are not pushing it into the public wording. So they are really trying to lower the barrier of entry and the mainstream adoption here. So very, very small down there, you see it's NFTs, but it's not very prominent. In terms of benefits, they offer real benefits, not just like digital benefits, but also real and tangible benefits that are also tied to their core business. So for example, depending on the level that you achieved within this loyalty program, you could for example, get a pack of coffee beans or a coupon for a free coffee. And so it's really like leveraging what your core business is all about and bringing it to the Web3 space and vice versa. And then they also use gamification elements. So for example, in a very fun way, you could learn more about the story of Starbucks, and you could gather and collect points on the way, which in the end allowed you to access a certain level and then get a specific reward for that. And now what do we do with all that? So if you say, hey, this is interesting, how do you get started? So I want to share with you like a little bit of framework, how other brands were kind of positioning themselves. And when we analyzed these projects, we saw two archetypes, how they go to market and then how they use NFTs. So in terms of go-to-market, we see two main approaches. So one is build upon. So they build upon their existing loyalty program, just as I just mentioned with Starbucks. But others, they really tapped the green field, so they just launched an NFT-based loyalty program independent of any existing program, either because there was no loyalty program before, or just because they wanted to keep it separate. And then in terms of how you can use NFTs, some used it as an access key, which means you had to buy an NFT or you got an NFT, and this then allowed you to access experiences, member spaces, special rewards. And others used NFTs as the form of reward. So basically, in the example of Lufthansa, you got an NFT, like a card, a trading card, as a reward for a specific flight, and then you can collect them and maybe you can unlock additional rewards. And there is no one thing that makes a successful loyalty program when it comes to these archetypes, but we see that the majority of these brands use NFT as an access key rather than a reward, but there is no pattern yet, so some build upon their existing programs and others use a completely new program to set it up. So I hope that this helps you to kind of how you think with your brand about like starting using NFTs in your loyalty program. I think it's a great use case for leveraging NFTs, leveraging the blockchain. And if you want to learn more about like the data, the insights, and learn about what your competitors did, but also what customer data you can learn from, reach out to me. I'm very happy to give you a demo or just talk about interesting trends that we see from all these brands in our database. Thank you very much.